Okay, chat. They nerfed and unbanned the bad man, and he's able to come into play and bounce your Niv-Mizzet Reborn so you can replay it for some more value. It also just like generically answers problem permanence. It makes counter spells worse against you. So let's go ahead and jump on into some games with this and see how it goes. What's going on, Rad? Thanks for the 45 months. Logan. How's the Magic so far? We've been playing Magic for almost 3 hours, and I think I can count our number of match wins on one hand. I believe I'm playing the attacker role in the bottom lane with TTV today, isn't tough. Stick. We actually hit land drops. I was prepared to see 3 spells here, chat. I'm gonna be honest. Everything went better than expected. So the top path and the bottom path in Pokemon Unite have slightly different amount of experience points they offer between them. And more importantly, there's different objectives in the different paths. And the bottom path objective is more valuable. So the current competitive 5-stack metagame in Pokemon Unite has people sending 1 character top, 3 bottom. I just Klothys here. Get this going to gain some life. Been doing well, Inhuman. Thanks for the tier 3 and thanks for the 26 months. Thanks for the over 3 years, Flesh Eaten Gnome. Good afternoon. I think we're binding the Trail of Crumbs next turn. We are going to be doing a series of sponsored streams starting at the end of the week for WWE Supercard. I've poked at it a little bit off stream before I took the contract. It looks like an interesting / amusing mashup of things that you do. It's mobile gamey, but could be a fun one. Yeah, it's like a numbers go up game that has cards involved in it.
I lead the Golgari now. Sometimes sacrifice is necessary.
How does a game make you always be on the left side? It just mirrors it for the opposing team, Telran. I think it's actually one of the best things about that game. Yeah, it's just an incredibly smart thing that they did, having you always be on the left. I think we need to iteration hit a land drop here, huh? And then they're out of food, so if we hit untapped land, we like Clarion, clear the board. I think is the plan. Yeah, hand, library, exile, we'll shock this, we'll Clarion. We'll end up at 13. If they can't generate a food here, Klothys gets to eat the cat. Yeah, it's tough, Wargy. While there's definitely some truth to people always complain about Magic, there's definitely kind of a marked difference, I think, in a post-fire design world. We tried to play red-black mid-range in Alchemy this morning, and we literally ran into the matchup that felt like 0%, like 6 out of 8 matches that we played. Just a really brutal set of matchup polarization. Rune Tarot is good to start the day. We played some Ari Lulu. I qualified for Rune Tarot's 20k seasonal tournament on Saturday.
Everyone is expendable.
So looking forward to playing with that, playing in that. If I don't kill the squirrel, I could die. The Vraska doesn't ult until 9, right? Yeah. I think we're on the binding the squirrel, Teferi, tell Vraska to go tuck herself next turn. Match 1, game 1, war game. Oh gosh. The Bloodcaster means every time they loop the cat, they get a blood, which lets Brushstroke. Oh god.
Its pain is our gain.
Hey, Master, thanks for the prime. There's a ton of great people on Twitch you can send that to every month. Thanks for sending it this way this month and keeping me around. We can't target the cat because they have a food in play. They have two. We're just dead, right? I just like can't offer interact with any of their shit. Don't have like a Maelstrom Pulse to draw to, I don't think. Even then, there's only like one, right? Maybe there's one. There's one Maelstrom Pulse. Couple of cages. We have a Fatal Push. Teferi's actually quite bad in this matchup. I just like sacrifice the thing you're targeting and it doesn't get to draw a card. Is Kavu bad here? Kavu's actually kind of not great, right? It just gets blocked by the cat oven. Culling Ritual, maybe? Certainly seems good here. I'd rather have Teferi than Kavu. Oh, Coma's not legal with our companion. Alright, we'll have to cut that. Fitting a couple of Culling Rituals in the sideboard seems good. In fact, I don't really want to play this without a go over the top card. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna concede. We're at the rank floor, and then put a couple of Culling Rituals in. Why can't I scroll down in my sideboard, chat? Alright, I can scroll here on this interface, apparently. Just Magic Arena thing. Yeah, the Siphon Insight deck is sweet. Is there not a place on Untapped that just shows my match history? I can see it for individual decks, but it doesn't look like I can see it for just like a list of recently played matches. I wanted to peruse and commiserate just how bad our record was for the day, but... I think it's gotta be an oversight. Oh yeah, this graph kinda shows me. So it shows you for decks, but doesn't show. So we are 1, 2, 2, 5, 2 and 8. We're 2 and 9 on the day for Magic. For people coming in and asking how Magic's going, we're 2 and 9 on the day. All right, chat. We found someone foolish enough to register creatures in this format. Maybe we can win. And Library Exile. Maybe we're supposed to put this one into play and draw the Wellspring here. And Library Exile. Oh, Tumos! When they pass with mana up, we can play Time Raveler to force their hand. It's good, clean living there. Oh gosh, this thing comes in with 5 loyalty now. So if you uptick it, it can then downtick the next 2 turns.
Oh, I've
It's
done
kind of gross.
the hero thing before.
I don't even know that I really make many changes here. Like this Fatal Push comes in. Our main deck's kind of set up to dumpster aggro. Play my Teferi uptick. Win the game. Sounds right. Deafening Clarion. Sign me up, friends. Up, up, and away. Yeah, I agree, Tumos. I think I would have liked 3 mana, 3 loyalty Teferi as opposed to 4 mana, 5 loyalty Teferi. I like the change to a static text, but overall I would have preferred. You want... Okay, folks, I would like to comment on something in chat, but before I do, I'm gonna need everybody to take your tinfoil hats out and strap them to your heads. We're gonna go deep here. You wanna know why every spoiler leak for the last 2 decades has been a grainy piece of shit photo? You wanna know why? It's been a grainy trash photo because they're not accidental leaks. It's fucking Wizards doing promo that they're not admitting is promo. Hand Library Exile. It's coming from inside the house. Yeah, like they're like once in a while, like sure, maybe something like that could happen, but it's super consistent and the pictures are like they are because they're not like Things like that are a way for them to start spoiler season without actually starting spoiler season. I think we want to go red-blue this way, so that way we can cast a exile target thing if we draw it. Binding of some gods. Ink, we're dead, fam. Died to a bunch of X4s that deal 3 in hand. Woof. I know we're full on in Kamigawa spoilers right now, Wargy. What's going on, Apollo? Thanks for 19 months. Welcome back. I do this now while they're tapped out, so I could got by like a Blossoming Defense or Styxian Veil or whatever. Okay. Now we have Territorial Kavu. And Library Exile. I'd like to trade my 2-drop for your 3-drop, please. Thank you. Clarion, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are gone. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Dunk. I really want to take another draw too, but just taking another 5/5 has got to be correct. As much as it hurts me to say, chat, taking the draw 2 is wrong here. Sony just bought Bungie. I mean, Sony's been collecting game studios for a while, right? Cast Teferi Time Raveler, opponent concedes. Yep. Oh, Bungie's the original Halo studio. Wait, Microsoft doesn't own them? I guess I just, okay, I didn't put that together. Weird. Okay, they own the Halo IP, but not Bungie. And the latest iteration of Halo was, like, really bad, right? It was not well received? Is Halo Infinite the new Halo? What's the new one called? Chat, Halo Infinite currently has less viewers on Twitch.tv than this little game called Magic the Gathering by a factor of 2. So I believe many of you in chat who say that you like it, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it was medium received. At best, I will give you medium received. What are is the game present on a real platform? Like, do you have like concurrent? Okay, Twitch viewers maybe aren't always the best. What are the average concurrent players on their whatever? Do they have high average concurrent player counts? That's another reasonable metric. And you can't, for reference, you can't just give me a number. Just tell me how the average and high compare to like real video games like Counter-Strike and Halo and other stuff like, or Counter-Strike and other things like that. I don't know what those numbers look like offhand. I also don't really have a horse in this race. I don't really care if it did well or not. But like that style of game, for my own reference, maybe I'm supposed to shock this into play around a disruption. I think I just cash this in to draw a card in the dark.
I've got
Wow, any cost, chat, any cost.
Really should have seen that coming.
Nostalgia is definitely a hell of a drug. Accurate. If this card can stay in play, it can single-handedly win us this game. Thanks for the quarter of a month, Chief Dingus. I don't know that I have a fully formed opinion on alchemy after the most recent updates. I'm not sure anybody can really have a fully formed opinion yet. We just got balance changes on Thursday, if you haven't been keeping up with alchemy, so the format is very much in flux at the moment. I'm missing any obvious sideboards in here against control. I don't think so. All these cards seem good. Helix is only okay, but it can like finish off an Arset in a pinch. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that's true, Corral. By the time Neon Dynasty releases in 2 weeks, we'll have more churn. Yeah, I think Wizards of the Coast made a pretty big mistake with alchemy, not refunding people wild cards when they changed the text on cards. I think regardless of what the position is, they've created a lot of negative feedback in the community over it and generated a lot of terrible press for themselves in the format. And honestly, if they wanted to take a greedy approach to it too, they don't even have to give full refunds and leave people keep their cards. They could just be like, okay, we're gonna rebalance your card. You're going to, we're gonna rebalance your card. You can keep the card or get a refund. That would be a good line to take, I think, if they wanted to be a little bit greedy about it. Alright, well, this is going on top of our deck. The card styles thing is probably just an oversight. That's how Hearthstone handles it. For 1 week after the balance patch, you can dust for full value. Yeah, it's a pretty reasonable way to do it, I think. Your fears are given form. That's true. And I would bet that that's almost assuredly part of the reason why that hasn't happened yet. Is even if they wanted to do that, implementing something like that is more programming time. It's not a we just use our existing tool solution. Kling's a pretty good draw. It's gonna end up drawing them 2 or more cards here. It's gonna draw them 1 more card this turn, maybe another next turn. Untapped land's not even terrible here. Second Kavu, also not terrible. I'm gonna hold on to this Triome. This way, if they down tick Ashiok, we can exile the land. We can also cycle it later. So, out of cards to escape the Kling again here. They're trading the Ashiok to tempo the Kavu. They probably don't have that much spot removal post board. The Kavus put opposing control decks into kind of awkward spots I found in this deck. Because they just like... They're just like, okay, they need counter spells against us, but they also like have to just randomly respect this 2-mana 5/5. Listen, all of y'all, this is sabotage. Yeah, I should have let on the Kavu there, or let on the Wellspring there and played the Kavu as the follow-up. Didn't even need the Niv-Mizzet. Can't draw the card our deck is named after, no problem. Huh? You know, chat, maybe we're just a full-time Gandalf stream moving forward. Out of all the decks we play in Magic lately, it doesn't feel like we're competitive if we're not playing a control deck. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong, but it definitely feels like making sure that fun is zero-sum feels like a necessary part of being competitive in Magic formats. Thanks for the follow, parry denied. I mean, even in standard, the what's it called decks are pretty controlling. And they feel like the most competitive. It's got some rogues. The mirage of mid-range beckon us. Be gone, foul siren! If we get to resolve this Klothys next turn, we'll be in a pretty good spot. My Kavu can also be exiling cards from my graveyard to potentially make some of their stuff worse, but there's also a ton of cards in my bin already. All right, well, it looks like my Kavu can swim at least. And Library Exile. Down to 35 cards in deck. What's going on, Tom? Thank you for the tier 2 and for the 70 months. I appreciate you sticking around for almost 6 years. Welcome back. Would like to kill your crab. I'm gonna shock this in pass, planning to cycle a Triome here. Cute. Oh no. Oh no. When your remand draws 3 cards, yikes. Well, so long, Klothys. It's unfortunate. I don't think Defree can swim, champ. He has, in fact, drowned in the lock. Poor Defree. Danny Bamonte, thank you for the 64 months. Welcome back. I think I want to deal with their Wizards class before it gets me. There's also only 21 cards left in my deck, though, so there's a good chance we just get milled out here, huh? Cards to the opponent. Manny hasn't quite been here for the start. I had already started playing bad Magic the Gathering cards when I met Matthew Bamonte. In fact, my first interaction with him was walking around the card shop looking for unplayables tomorrow for F&M. What's going on, LeCarp? Thanks for the 32 months. Oh, I think we're dead, fam. You ever want to put your whole sideboard card in? I don't know about entire sideboard, but I'm definitely gonna board up here. We're playing 28 lands. Yeah, I think I go up to 67 cards here. Our land ratio is pretty reasonable either way. Opponent working hard to try and figure out how to counter our board up to 67 card strategy. What's going on, Big Zwine? Lots of big subs in here today. Thanks for the 51. I think it's a little bit too early to say how Alchemy's gone with the current set of balance changes. We didn't have a lot of variety in our matchups today, but I think that's probably just a little bit of bad luck / sample size. We queued into the black sweeper decks just like almost every match. I'm gonna pass here, because I think if they want to counterspell my Prismari Command, I'm fine with that. Shock Treasure. If they counter this, they're less likely to counter something else down the line. Yeah, like something's getting Jwari Disruption. I'd much rather it be that than something else. Just call the herd here. Fortunately, nothing to do with that mana, but is what it is. Hey, drawing Gluris here? I really need to draw untap land if that's the case, so windmill this Niv-Mizzet. Are they putting the shields down? They are. Okay. Come on, untap lands. 28 lands later. Although I suppose a lot of our lands are tapped here, so even if we hit one. There are not 8 cards in my graveyard yet, so they can't sack this to draw a card. Show me your secrets, he says before getting Drowned unlocked. Just a Thought Thief. Okay. I'm leaving that on top because their Thought Thief's just gonna mill it anyways. If they don't mill it, it's also fine. It's not an untapped land, but tapped land's better than bricking on a land again. Hit next turn. Any of the opponent's deck's really not a thing, Photon. It's one of those, like, old decks that got cards banned out of it that, like, some people still just play because they like it, but it's really not particularly popular. Yeah, fast forward button for live content when opponents are slow playing would be correct. The opponent has 6 minutes less on their clock than I do. It's actually taking 5 ever. I guess we can draw a Helix. We were missing our 5th land for quite some time there. That is accurate. Yeah, if Niv gets to show up to the party, we probably draw enough spells to punch through. No green mana, but 2 castables, even if we miss on it for a little bit. And if we spike the green, the hand's pretty good, so definitely keep. Card that's good against aggro, card that's good against control. That's a Spell Pierce, yeah. So are they not playing Phoenix? Are they playing Phoenix with counter magic? Terramander could imply they're just not on Phoenix. Are we cashing Teferi in for a card? Or are we trying to keep it alive as a distraction? I think we're just cashing it in for a card and some tempo.
That's more like it.
I guess it might also just live, right? If they can't fart this, they have to like have a shock or something to kill it. And that land lets us Niv, right? We have black, green, blue, white, red.
Now what?
We've been playing our Niv deck for almost an hour, and we'll get to cast our first Niv here. My body is ready to get Mystic Disputed. God bless us, everyone. It's a large land, shit. So pretty unfortunate here. I have to discard to hand size. Very unlucky. We did in fact draw some good spells. I think I'm putting them on not Phoenix. I'm gonna cut some of my more expensive non-creature cards. That's true. We did have to discard to hand size. Sometimes lucky. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. I think all our colors of mana, iteration, helix is a keep. No creature on one. My body is excited to helix this Sprite Dragon onto. Show me potato salad. It's not a Sprite Dragon, okay. Missing land drops here, friend? Oh, no. Hand meat cookie jar, opponent. Opponent's got a lot of options over here. Unfortunately for them, none of them are lands. What a deeply skill-testing match of Magic the Gathering. Really feel like my brain came out and got outplayed. Let them surveil. We'll Fatal Push this off a cliff. We'll attack them for 5. We'll exile a card from their graveyard. exiling from their graveyard. They have 2 creatures, 1 sorcery. Go after the sorcery to keep their delirium down. If we can stop them from being delirious, they won't be able to deal 6 to this, which is great. Wiki, thanks for the 2 years. Welcome back. Good afternoon. Yip, yip, yip. Start by attacking, rummage a card in our hand. We just go land, draw, Wellspring, chill. Like there's a reason to run Niv-Mizzet into counterspell mana here. Is it getting a little windy in here, chap? Is it just me? So next turn we'll be able to go Kavu, tapped land, cycle the Triome. Pretty decent sequence. They pass with 1 mana up or nothing. We'll Niv-Mizzet. The fading hopes and the Aether Gusts are a lot less scary when they're not accompanied by pressure. Afternoon, Prince Day. Kill it with lightning. All right, and that's a you're tapped out window. One giant mull drifter, if you would. Very good. Very, very good. What's going on, J-Dubs? Thanks for the 20 months. Appreciate the prime. Prime me up. Primed and ready. Give mystical burr. Brr. Brr. Hand's missing red. There's 2 castables, and if we find a red, it's very good. Yeah, people are not big on letting our spells resolve today. If resolves, they concede. Only a 4/4 for 2 mana. Sag. Sag Kavu. These idiots never really got to battle each other on Arena, did they? Just like the big bad bounce boys.
matter of time.
Only a matter of time. Green, black, red, blue, white. Was Tef legal for Eldraine's year? It's kind of a blur. I think I'm getting rid of Phoenix and playing a 5/4/4 here. It could be right to just jam Niv though too. Only need like 2 good cards anyways. Could be correct.
Got it.
They were legal together. Okay. It was like a block in my mind over that period of time. Gosh, the number of Teferi sitting in play, I guess I concede games we've had today have been really high. Just like, oh, I guess I'll die. Okay. What do we think? It's a concession, Clarion? Yeah, control, in my anecdotal experience, control is the most common archetype in Historic before they added Teferi back to the format. What's going on, Patrick? Welcome back. Yeah, Chandra's a little scary.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
I really want to draw a land here. Perfect, because the land means I can play Klothys and still hit the land for the turn. And then Klothys can keep pace with Chandra for keeping our life total around 12, around 10.
Today's my lucky day.
I think we just YOLO this. Okay. It's a pulse to deal with Chandra. We took them off of Delirium with Klothys, so they can't kill Niv with a single spell. They could shock plus Chandra down tick to kill Niv, but then that means Chandra dies to Helix, which is nice. Yeah, Veil of Summer and or Field of the Dead would be good additions back to this format. Hey, we can dodge a counter spell, we can dodge a ball. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, it's only exiles opponent's graveyard, so I can exile their stuff just fine. Tap like this, so I can still Helix their Phoenix.
It's over when I say it's over.
Gonna do this proactively before they can have something like a negate up. I have Grafdigger's Cage in place. Even if they can fluke that, they need to get through this. Ooh, Town Razor Tyrant being a card that answers Field of the Dead isn't something I'd consider, but that's definitely true. I didn't want to upkeep Helix the bird, because then if my Maelstrom Pulse got Spell Pierced, the Chandra would Emblem. I think it's pretty unlikely they bring the bird back anyways, so I want to just guaranteed take the Chandra off the table. I'm starting here. And Library Exile. Get rid of you, play
Don't
you.
need me anymore.
It's a world where we die this turn, but it's unlikely, and if we untap, we're in a pretty incredible spot. Yeah, series of cantrips here kills us. They have 4 mana. Okay. Pillar of Flame is lethal. Survey says Don't do it! No whammy! No whammy! Not dead yet! Oh no, I'm dead to the Hall of the Storm Giants. Shit. I missed that hiding in their mana. Alright, game the third. Shoot. That was a good game. I think that's the first time we've had a really good game today for the Magic segment. And it's been a rough session for the old arena. I think we mulligan that. Yeah, this is much better. And I think, like, this is the kind of tiebreaker. One of the things I like to do if I see a 7 like that and it's close, if it doesn't have my key sideboard card, I mulligan it, and if it does, I keep it. So having a chance to get a bunch of looks at our key sideboard card is a lot of value, he says before getting spell pierced. Some considerations to go through here. Alright, I mean, we lost with Cage and Klothys last game. So, strong start for us, but definitely not a lock by any means here. Hey, that Fabled Passage means if they tap... Oh, they already have one. But if they tap out here, we could cast Niv next turn off of Klothys, right? Green, red, black. I'm gonna YOLO it. We're not here to not jam giant dragons into play, right? Everybody ready to slam? Welcome to the jam. What's going on, Archangel? I don't feel bad about ad blocking on my YouTube if you sub here, especially. When in doubt, tap out. Is our Niv broken? He hasn't been drawing a full hand today. Asking the real questions.
I'm the best fire starter there is. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Well, so like, for example, Rest in Peace would be turning off our Klothys in a spot like this. So like, it's not a strictly better situation, and it's not just about one mana versus not. There's also the consideration of the fact that Grafdigger's Cage gets to tag things like Collected Company. whereas Rest in Peace does not. As is often the case in these formats with deeper card pulls, it's not like strictly better, strictly worse type situations. It's just a trade-off. Decide which way you want to hedge your bets and then go with it.
Oh, today's my lucky day.
Casting a Faithless Looting, vigorously spinning our tires as we look for an answer to our impending doom? Doom. That was a Phoenix. Do they have a way to shatter this cage? Wub. Goodbye, bird. Start with Vanishing Verse, just in case they have a Spell Pierce. So long, farewell, I'll see you and good day. This archetype seems like it's still very reasonable. I by no means have any idea after a single session if 2 Teferi Time Ravelers at 4 mana is an ideal number of that effect to have, but it definitely seems like playing some number of that card is something you definitely want to be doing. And more importantly, the last time we played this deck, I kind of talked about how the way this main deck is set up, especially, our hard matchup is the control decks. That's why we've got all these Thought Erasures and Dovin's Vetoes and stuff in the sideboard. And this is a card that's just like a hoser in the control matchup to turn off all their counter spells, while also being a card in the creature matchups and things that play to the board, where it also has an impact there. And it draws a card, right? Like, it costs a little bit more mana than it used to, but at the core, if you're not dying immediately, it's hard for this card to be too terrible because it just replaces itself while generating a little bit of tempo. Yeah, we had a lot of Teferi. I'm untapping with Teferi, my opponent's conceding instead of letting me untap in there. So definitely a good Magic the Gathering card that you should probably be playing. Yeah, I feel like we might try some more things, but it's definitely been, the last couple of weeks, whether it's Alchemy or Historic or whatever, the more successful decks at the end of our sessions have definitely been on the more controlling end of the spectrum. So I think that's probably what we're going to focus on more often than not. I think my loose plans, I talked about this, so I'm back to doing 5 days a week for the stream. I did a couple of 4-day weeks, but with Alchemy balance changes and things to Historic, I want to poke back in some more. I think we're going to do 1 Alchemy deck and 1 Historic deck every single day this week, and I'm going to pick one of them and let chat deck vote on the others. So chat voted for a Historic deck today, so we'll vote for Alchemy decks tomorrow. As for what will be in the deck voting, I'll have to figure that out exactly.